a 1. All right, all right, all right. What's going on? Good morning to everybody. First thing first, hope everybody's doing good. Second thing, I want to make sure everybody can hear me real quick because I'm trying this on a new setup. So if you could, let me know if you can hear the mic, what it sounds like, and all that good stuff. If we're good to go, then we're going to go ahead and kick off. Now, I do have the homie, the brother that you all know very well, Stadia Dosage News in the building. What's going on with you, brother?
MM2K, brother. We all Stadia Dosage News, man. We all Stadia Dosage News at heart. We all love Stadia. We all know that Stadia is a great platform. And a lot of us, not all of us, but a lot of us are optimistic that Stadia is going to be around, at least in retail version, for a long time. And we're going to talk about it. And we know that there's some people that may feel a different way. But, you know, if you look at the theme, Storm, the theme tells it all. It's like a court case. We're going to put all the evidence out there and let you be the judge. But I'm doing wonderful today, good brother.
That's what's up, man. I see the chat right here. Let me go ahead and address this right now to each and every one of you. We got Stadia Rev in the building. Had a good conversation with Rev yesterday. Cloud Gamer 201, the gaming advocate, y'all, who had a hell of a show. I was definitely in attendance. And I heard some things that the homie said that I really want to kind of like, I want to recap. And I love the focus and the direction of the show, Chase. Yep. And I like that. What I appreciate about it was the level of fairness that I was hearing, right? Everything sounded fair. Let's not do for one platform that we don't do for the other one. If Amazon is out here and they slip a little bit, we got to let them know. We got to call that out too. You know what I'm saying? If Geforce Now is out here and they're not making the moves that consumers might like, we got to call that out. Stadia, same thing. We've been doing that since day one.
Oh, that's been knee jerk. So,
yeah. I mean,
Stadia got its lumps. You know, we got to spread the lumps.
Absolutely, man. Cause see, I don't know about you all. I don't know how many people in the chat or Moss already know the answer when it comes to you, but I want to get into this whole thing, man, because I've been having conversations. I told y'all, man, if you've been in previous shows, my phone's been, getting lit up, man. I've been getting DMs and emails, and I go over to Xbox, and Chase knows this is true. You know what I mean? I go over to Xbox, and I hop in party chats with the heavy Xbox fans and everything, and they're trying to come at my neck, man. And there's only so much that I really can take. I'm tired I'm hearing things like, yeah, Stadia is dead. It's only a matter of time, Moss. I'm just going to go into it, man. We got notes, y'all. We got show notes, but you know how we do it on SML. We got to keep it raw. We got to keep it live and direct. But before I get into any of that, I definitely want to know a couple things. MM2K, man, you play these games, bro. One of these games that you've been playing, I know you said it on the commission, and I've been watching your content during the day, during the week or whatever, and I know you've been bringing up this Madden. Yeah. And can we get into, as you see on the screen, people? I didn't even change it up and make it full screen because I want people to see what you all are saying when this plays back. But MM2K, what's your thoughts on the Madden, man? I know it's been like over a week now. How do you feel about it, and what was your recent experiences like?
Well, I give you guys a comical take on all that if you go to Stadia Dosage streams. And shout out to my good brother Simba. We had one of the most folliest games of all time. We were throwing interceptions all over the place. You just hear Benny Hill music. I mean, it was such a blooper. It was crazy. I ain't gonna tell you. I kind of gave it away, but I'm not gonna give it away. I want y'all to be surprised. I don't want to spoil it. And then I was upset. I was angry. I was shaking my chair like that. I know Simba was getting a good laugh. He's like, this mug is nuts. So I was really upset because I haven't touched Madden in like 11 years, Storm. I haven't touched it. And the control schemes just don't make sense to me anymore. Well, they didn't. And then I called up my good brother, Project Storm. I said, Storm, look, man, I threw 8 interceptions. He said, come on, man. Yeah, he said, I'm going to have to relook over my contract. I don't know if we can do shows together anymore, Moss. I said, that's why I'm coming to you for help, man. I need help, man. And he said, all right, Moss, here's what you do. Go to that practice mode.
You got to go to that
grinding
practice
it
mode.
out. He said, I grind it out every day. And bro, believe you me, I went and I was in that practice mode for about a good hour and a half. And now I think I got and he ain't never lied. I done took so many snaps. Just put it on random defense, put it on random offense, and just keep running plays, man, until you start getting the hang of things. And then after I did that, bro, I went back to the same team that I played against that Simba was, and I beat them 35-0, bro.
Damn.
So, shout out to my homie Storm, man.
Hey, yo,
the master of Madden.
Now, let me tell you, people. I got to tell you why practice mode works, and I won't spend too much time on it. But it allows you to get the rhythm, the timing, and everything. So he just said he beat somebody 35-0. Well, I did a live stream yesterday. I beat somebody 35-0, man.
Woo!
Now, shout out to the guy.
Something?
Shout out to the guy. He didn't quit. And I will say this right now, because we're gonna get into this also during the show. But that Madden free weekend, man, it seems like people took advantage of that. Now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to y'all. I was expecting, and I'll say this to start the show, I was expecting maybe 1,000 people to hop on the Madden. I knew I wasn't always going to. It's Stadia, y'all. So we're not going to have the numbers that Xbox and PC and PlayStation and all them have, right? Mm-hmm. But I can find a match every day or 2 or 3. Now, it's harder when you get in the top 20 like I am, MM. It's harder to find matches because the game is trying to match you up with people on your talent level or whatever, right? But when I look at the numbers, they've been growing. When I looked at it, it was 2,000 players. Then it went to 3,000. Then it went to 4,000. Then it went to 5, 6, 7, 8. Now it's all at 9,000 players ranked. So I'm like, man, okay, people must be playing the game. They might the free weekend must have worked, So it's just subtle things like that is going to be the focus of what I'm trying to say today. Now, MM, can you get into some housekeeping and all that while I go get this food?
Yes,
man,
sir.
I just see my wife ordered something, and she didn't tell me. But
shout out to the wife. Shout out to the wife.
Food real quick while you do the housekeeping.
I'm still waiting for mine to come up here, but shout out.
I hear you, man. I'll be right back, y'all.
No problem, bro. So let's do some house cleaning, everybody. Shout out. You know what? Let me shout everybody out in the chat real quick. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Stadia Rev in the house, Cloud Gamer 201, my brother Chase, the gaming advocate. I promise you I was gonna catch the show and hear the wifey's been on my behind, y'all. Got me doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff. So I didn't catch the show, but Storm caught it. Chase said it was one for the ages, man. So definitely after this, y'all, please go listen to Chase's show, my brother, the gaming advocate, man, coming down the middle, doing his thing. Who else we got in here? We got Ben Moxham. He said, hit that like button. Appreciate that, my good friend. We got Heath Stevens in the house.
All right.
And he's laughing. I think he was laughing at me saying that we feel like Stadia is here to stay. Hey, Steve, hey Heath, we gonna get you out of that mainstream fog, brother.
We got to get into it today.
Romella Thomas in the house. What's up, Romella? Good to see you. Who else we got in here? We got Stefan Robitas. Did I butcher that? And we got the homie Charles Aran. Charles Aran in the house. What's going on, Charles? Good to see you as always. So do some spring cleaning real quick. We at the PNTS Network, this show is affiliated with PNTS Network. We air this show, the SML Podcast. It is co-hosted by Project Storm and myself. It airs every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, either here on Project Storm's channel or my channel over at MM2K's. No, that's my own personal channall. I'm sorry. It airs either here.
Come on, man. You nervous? You nervous, man?
I know, exactly. There's so much evidence, man. I'm nervous. I'm dropping my bifocals, my court papers hitting the ground. I'm nervous. Then tomorrow, you definitely don't want to miss the dynamic duo of, again, Project Storm and Snowbuddy Gaming for Ying Meets Yang of Gaming. Man, we hit some great numbers last week. Definitely, because everybody's starting to realize this is a hell of a show. We shouldn't miss it. Definitely check them out.
Credit to the people though. Thrash and Sick Humor and all them came through.
Sick Humor, love, man, and King Thrash for showing the love. But definitely, y'all come through, man. Y'all come through. Check out that show. It's a hell of a show. It's where two different total aspects of gaming philosophy talk about all things gaming. They get into it. They get into some of the craziest battles, man. It's a great thing to watch. Every Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Definitely check that out. Then on Wednesdays, we have SSC Podcast, also co-hosted by my brother Project Storm, myself, and when he's available, Eddie Player One for the time being, on the Stadia Dosage platform. We air that every 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on, again, Stadia Dosage platform. Last but not least is the show where the commission rules. It is called The Commission. It is co-hosted by Project Storm, myself, Snow Bunny Gaming, and Tron of the Roundtable Podcast with King Thrash and Sick Humor. Look, deep discussions, deep dives, critical thinking, all that stuff. And then we get the community involved. We talk all things gaming. Definitely join us every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I think I covered everything.
I think you did, man. Hell of a job. So, hey, Moss, man, I'm telling you right now, because of the state that we're in right now when it comes to Stadia, your job is safe, man, for the remainder of the year, bro. Listen, I've been doing a lot of thinking, man, and I'm like,
okay,
I'm thinking about the hell that you went through. You know what I'm saying? You always talk about the hell that you go through, and then knowing all these content creators and everything, man, I can only imagine what that was like for you, bro. So your job is safe, man. And that's no pun. That's no joking, because you know damn well we don't play around with any of the jobs that was lost or refocused or shifted during this whole transition. Yeah. So that's something that we don't play around with. But you all know that if we've been playing around and stuff like this for months now when it comes to MM's job. And it is safe for the rest of the year. So let's get into Hey, Moss, man, I really want you. Hey, stop me if I ever go too far, bro, because you know me. I like to be honest. I like to speak about how I'm feeling, how others are feeling around us, outside of this community, their thoughts, and we just try to make everything make sense. So there's no personal attacks upcoming or anything like that. Yep. That's not what we're about. It should never come down to that. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, we want to get into this show, man. All right. Mm-hmm. We're going to start with the other cloud services, y'all. The services, okay? To me, there's only one cloud platform. That's Google Stadia. And I think that remains the case. If you look out there, you hear some of the naysayers are still calling this a platform. It's not a service. I don't think it's going to be reduced to a service. Anything can happen, but I really don't feel it in my gut or my soul at all that this is about to be reduced to some type of service. And the scary white labeling terminology is out there, yo. People are using it all the time. White labeling to scare, induce fear into people, man. I'm not going to do that, y'all. What I am going to do is get into the fact that I've been playing games on this platform since November 19th, y'all. Well, 21st, because I didn't get my damn code on time, right? Mm-hmm. I wasn't mad. Stadia Revolution knows this. You know this. Other people that was paying attention to what I was saying on people's platforms like Stadia Talk and others at the time. You know that I have always been serious about this platform. So no amount of criticism and ridicule and humility and none of that stuff is going to change how I feel about Stadia, bro. Now, Moss, I'm not going on a tangent. This is all controlled chaos, man. I have an RTX 3080. You got
organized confusion.
Organized confusion, man. You got an RTX 3070, Moss.
Yes, sir.
Our dumbasses are still playing Stadia. Can you share why? Can you share why?
Yeah, exactly.
Can you share why? Because somebody asked you yesterday in your chat. And shout out to them. Yeah. That was a hell of a question. I even backed it, and I agreed that I wanted to hear the answers from you, too. Why are you still rocking with Stadia, man? Shit. Why?
Well, here's the thing, Storm. Look, dedicated devices. Well, consoles have great stuff, too. They are perfect at plug and play. They are perfect at plug and play. You plug the thing in, and it boots up, and then you get to play. Mm-hmm. Hardware, or PCs, they're perfect at giving you balancing fidelity and performance. Now, again, we get confused with the word performance because Digital Foundry done screwed up our whole understanding of it. When we're talking about performance, we're talking about how smooth the gameplay is, how smooth the frames are. PC is great at that, but for how perfect they are at that and how perfect consoles are plug and play, they have their sore spots, which is price.
Right.
So what's great about Stadia is even though you can get the best fidelity, you know what I'm saying, with the console at the moment. You can get the best performance with PC at the moment. It comes at a heavy price. Where Stadia,
that's literally.
Stadia is look. When I paid for my my card, my 3070 card, think about this. When I bought my 3070 card, which is the middle version of the NVIDIA cards, it will be years. I said, count them, years before I spend as much on Stadia in totality. That's including buying games, because we done got so many games for Freestorm.
Yeah.
It's going to be years before I spend as much on Stadia as I did just on my 3070 card. Think about that.
Yeah. That's
all the games that I got and the plug and play. PC is not plug and play. PC is like a stick drive. You know what I'm saying? When you're driving a car. And even though consoles are great plug and play, they don't balance fidelity and frames per second. Look at all this stuff that you're seeing in the airwaves about, oh man, is ray tracing really the hit right now? Because you're taking a hit on the performance. Is it all what it's cracked up to be? You see that on consoles right now? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Stadia is a great balance between all that, because it's frictionless. It's frictionless. And even though we're going to talk about it, then I'm going to shut up after I say this. Even though we are losing at the moment, because there's a pathway forward where this stuff comes back. And I explained this yesterday, and we'll get into it again today. Even though at the moment we're losing the possibility of Stadia working on the complete endeavors of the cloud, what's not taken away from it is still that it's a frictionless prospect to counterbalance PC and consoles. And if you don't have the money, or if you don't have the time to sit there and wait for downloads, it's your best option, period. So that's why, and I fit into that narrative. So that's why I still play Stadia, even though I have a PlayStation 5 Storm and I have a 3070 card.
Okay, that's right. And I had the Series X and I had a 3080 card. And soon, hopefully, I will have a PS5. So, all right. So let's get into these services then. Now, I've heard on numerous shows, and I've been on the podcast or two with you, and we talked about Luna. So we'll start with Luna today.
Yes, sir.
Is Luna for you? Are you disgusted by where Luna is right now? What are your thoughts, man, when it comes to Amazon Luna? Are you hopeful for it? Like, what's your overall thoughts, and what does it do for you as a consumer?
Right now, I mean, it's Amazon, and Amazon has the ability they have the willingness to throw a whole bunch of money at stuff for a long time. So if they get their act together, in regards to the business line and what they're going to propose, it could be a powerhouse. But I haven't seen anything that proves that. I mean, again, okay, let me put it like this. When you praise something, it's because it's the best at something, right?
Yeah.
So when you look at all the cloud platforms, Amazon right now is the best at nothing. They're not offering you anything.
Well, they offer you ultra settings though.
Do they work now?
Man, I'm asking you the question, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm asking you the question, bro.
Yeah, I mean they offer you ultra settings, but you can get that from GFN too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're getting ultra settings. I mean, and again, I'm not trying to be mean or anything.
I mean, we're not bashing the service, but what we are gonna do is let people know how it sounds when they try to come at Stadia, exactly. Though. I think fair is fair when it comes to that.
Yeah, I don't think it's good, or I don't think it's fair to judge Stadia based upon what it presents in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or no. Or judge Stadia based upon some flaws now, but then praise these other platforms for what might come in the future. That's not a fair proposal. If you're going to talk about Stadia flopping now in certain areas, we're going to talk about everybody flopping now. And Amazon right now, does not provide. There was a question that I heard on one of the shows. I can't remember who asked it. And again, you're right for your opinion. Your opinion is your opinion. Can't be wrong for your opinion. It's just watch talking in absolutes and understand the danger of salivating over any of these platforms failing. We want them all to win because the mainstream really wants these to fail. But what I say there, Storm, is I heard somebody say, well, if Stadia doesn't do its outlandish stuff with cloud gaming, what is his proposal? Performance. Nobody performs as well as Stadia. So if I'm somebody that wants to play Ubisoft Plus or play games a la carte, which Amazon doesn't offer, regardless if they can offer it in the future, they're not offering it now. Right. Then I get way more options than Luna. I get the a la carte options that Luna doesn't present. I get Amazon. I mean, I get better performance. So what? You know what I'm saying? So right now, Amazon has potential as well. I'm not saying that they're done. They have a lot of potential. But if I'm great in the service at what it is now, regardless if it has a beta name on it or not, Storm. And again, I said this yesterday, I'm gonna say it again. We need to stop letting these companies misuse the word beta. When beta first came out, when it came to gaming, it meant that the product that you're going to get in your hands may not perform at its apex that we wanted to perform at such and such time. It doesn't mean we're not going to talk to you. It doesn't mean that we're only going to limit this to 3 people. It doesn't mean that, hey, every promise that we made you, we're going to break, which Amazon kind of did. They told you things were coming at a certain date and they didn't. They told you certain things would be there at a certain time and they didn't. That's not what beta means. Beta just simply means that the quality of the product, as far as its performance, ain't where it should, ain't where it's going to be. We promise that it's going to get better. And people are loosely using beta and trying to use that as an excuse. No, if you want me to pay money for your product or service and you fall short, you should get reprimanded for it, just like Stadia should, Amazon should, and GFN should. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
My thoughts on Amazon, I'll just close it with this. My thoughts on Amazon is, okay, there's promise there, but there's nothing that leaps out at me at the moment as far as what it can do that would make me say, okay, I would rather play this than play the other options that are out. Not just Stadia, the other options that are out there. There's nothing there for that right now. Because, okay, let me say this. Because, and the channels, like the games don't really like knock it out of the park, right?
Yep.
Then the games don't knock it out of the park in the Luna channel. And in addition, Storm, if I got Amazon Plus, if I got Ubisoft Plus, I can use that on Stadia. I can use that on GFN. I can use it on Shadow. What's the big deal?
Right.
So those are my thoughts.
So my thoughts real quick on Luna, man, is that, all right, I'll tell you this. I watched, shout out to Brian of the Nerf Report, y'all. You know who he is. If you don't, you
shout out to Brian. Hell yeah.
Brian made a hell of a video, you know what I'm saying? And
yes, sir.
And the thing is, it was connected to the community, and it was just also kind of like to me, I took it as a perfect way to communicate that Stadia is not dead, regardless of what the big YouTubers are saying, regardless of what the people who don't know a damn thing about Stadia are saying. It's not dead. Well, how do you know it's not dead, Project Storm? Well, I could jump on it right now. It's not dead. I mean, could it die one day? Yeah. Could we die one day? I think so.
Exactly. It's possible.
So my thing is, like, the way he broke things down, and he reminded us, the thing that resonated the most was he reminded us that Amazon spent $500 million on first-party games or first-party studio or whatever the case was. $500 million. Now, when we look at that number, because we keep talking about that number, I know I keep bringing it up, that's a lot of damn money to be putting into your first-party games, especially when you are have not established yourself as one of the best. And that might not even be Stadia's goal at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Of trying to be the best right now. They know that it's going to be a long race. They've already said that. They didn't imply that. They didn't hint at it. They said it flat out. They understand their position. It seems as if they understand their position when it comes to the business side. Now, communication side and all that stuff, and the timing side and all that, now I can't disagree. That needs to be improved. But at the same time, man, I took all of that as Stadia's, is here. They're going to try to do better. They're going to do better. Their goal is to focus on how they can corner a larger part of the market, gain more market share, which increases revenue, which it gives us better resources and gains at our disposal and stuff like that, man. That's how I keep seeing this now. I need you to change my mind and let me know that Stadia is really dying so I could stop spending my damn money. Because some people out there, they have stopped spending their money. I am not mad at them for saving their money because money is hard to come by right now. I'm not mad at those people. But I will say I am disappointed in the people who have been saying Stadia's dead. No, it's alive now because Cyberpunk's out. Now Stadia's dead again. No, Immortals Phoenix Rising. There's Phil. There's Phil. I was going to say Phil Jackson. Damn, Phil Harrison right here, man. It's alive. Yeah, we're rocking this Stadia. Let's go, baby. I told you day one. I was on this Stadia from day one. Man, sit your ass down. Is what I like to say. Sit down. You can't ride with it.
Hey, look, this is Project Storm.
This is just my take on the matter. Everybody gives their takes.
Get it, brother.
Everybody gives their
Project
takes,
Storm,
right?
uncuffed.
Hey, everybody gives their takes. You know what I'm saying? And everything is not always roses and ice cream and all that stuff, right?
As we talked the aforementioned video. Yes.
So I'm breaking it down because Project Killer's my witness. Brother. I was in the conversation yesterday with some Xboxers, you know what I'm saying, who was giving me hell because I still choose to rock with Stadia because I don't feel that Stadia's dying. And I bought a hell of a lot of games for this platform, knowing that one day it could all be done. Knowing that one day it could all be done, right? Yeah. MM2K. Is Stadia dead right now?
No, Stadia's not dead.
So I think I'm gonna buy Far Cry 6 and I'm gonna buy other games that's upcoming before that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
No. I was gonna say this. You don't need to look. We're gonna get into this. I'm gonna show y'all in a little bit why your opinion is your opinion. You're allowed to have your opinion. But when you look at the hardcore facts, and I don't mean speculation from other people, because I've listened to a lot of speculation from people that I agree with, people that don't agree with, and there is some great educated guesses out there. But we're digging beyond educated guesses. We're talking about stone cold facts. When you lay the stone cold facts about this specific item, not, Google has done this in the past, or you're not in the boardroom and you don't know what's fueling any of this. None of us do. When you look at the stone cold facts that support whether there's going to be a long-term retail or there's not, the evidence to support that there is going to be a long-term retail outweighs the white labeling thought process 8-1. 8-1. We're gonna show you today, baby. 8-1. We're gonna show you the proof. Now, with that said, I know there's a knee-jerk reaction. I'm not blaming everybody for this because, again, your opinion is your opinion. But I have seen traces of, and we're breaking it down what's going on in the community for those like my homie Heath Stevens, who's like, I don't know what's going on. I'm not really embedded in the Stadia community. I just watch your content, but I'm trying to figure out what's the pulse. Put the finger on the pulse for me, MM2K. There are entities that Stadia is not their favorite platform, and that's fine. And that's fine. They love interacting with the community. And that's fine. Not a problem. However, to validate, and I've seen this a lot with PlayStation and Xbox. However, to validate their preference of something else, when this news hits or any negative news hits, everything means the death of Stadia. That's what it is in a nutshell. Not for all, but for a good number. Not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to paint with a broad brush everybody, but you are seeing you're seeing proof of that. Look, the biggest proof of that is go to someone's timeline that you're like, there's a lot of Stadia slander, but I don't see any slander on anything else. Go to someone's timeline and look at it. If they praise all these other platforms and they have nothing negative to say about them, but they got mounds of negative stuff to say about Stadia, the proof is right there. I'll call out a name right now because this person, in my mind, whether y'all agree with this person's position or not, I think they personify the opposite, which is my brother Chase. Like Storm said earlier today, Chase got on the air and cut it down the middle. Now Chase is leaning more towards, if I have this right, he's leaning more towards to where he think this might be a wind down. But he's giving it to Amazon, he's giving it to Shadow, he's giving it to all of them.
Bet it, believe it.
There's entities out there. Shadow's great. Oh, Luna's, oh my gosh, nothing wrong. It's a beta. So that's their excuse. And they can ride that to the sunset. GFN is fantastic. Nothing wrong with GFN. Just look at the timelines. The internet never dies. It's all there. So to them, I'd say you ain't got a lot to kick it because you're getting the evidence to support what we're saying is really in our favor, even though none of us knows. So when we get labeled fanboys or we get labeled this or that, I just laugh and I grin, Storm. Because what we're going to do today is we're just going to show the evidence and we're going to let the evidence speak for itself and then you decide. You know what I'm saying? So,
all right. So when do you want to get into that? When do you want to get into that evidence, man? Give me a time frame. It's up to you.
Well, you know what? Let's go. Let's do this.
You want to go into a little bit?
Let's go into all the different platforms and how they should be.
Okay.
How they should be monitored, at least.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna
fairly judged.
Yeah, fairly judged universally. You like what you like. Like for instance, I love Stadia, but I'm not mad at somebody that says Stadia may not have enough games. Like my brother that's what he tells me. My own flesh and blood. He tells me, yeah, Stadia ain't got enough games, and I'm like, I can dig it. So when I say how it should be universally looked, getting out of your own personal opinion and thinking of this from 5,000 feet on how it should be rated unbiasedly from everybody, despite your own personal bias. So let's go over each the other ones and see how they should be universally reviewed without a bias.
All right. Well, here it is then, real quick, and we'll keep it as quick as we can. So next up, we already touched on Geforce Now.
Yes, sir.
For me, Geforce Now, the performance is just not consistent. I have video evidence of that on my channel. It's just like, for some reason, I have the same gigabit that I use to play Stadia, MM2K in chat.
Yep.
It's the same damn internet I use to play Luna, which I think performs better than Geforce Now for me at my home.
Okay.
So I would rank Stadia first,
then
Luna, then Geforce Now, then Shadow, or whatever, then PS Now, if I had to put all of those in the basket, right? That's my ranking. Gotcha. Now, Geforce Now doesn't mean that it's not a great service for some people. I think it is, because a lot of people investing in PC games, they have their whole library at their disposal. I could all the games I have downloaded on my PC right now, like Cyberpunk, I was able to play. But what I don't like, what pisses me off, and I have to call it out, y'all, so you always know in case it happens to you or has already happened to you. I don't want to see anything in 720p. That's Project Storm. That's why I'm doing 4K, 8K. I have moved on from 720p resolution.
That's 2003.
I mean, I hope you're not mad. And I know some people are like, damn, Storm, I can agree with you. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones that some people agree with me, right? 720p on your 1080p device or your display or your 4K. God forbid you have a 4K display and you try to put 720p resolution. Now, that was some type of glitch, right? So I had to go in and run Geforce Now as an administrator after going to the forums to figure out why I couldn't go up to 1080p with the browser, because they just released the compatibility for the browser, right? Yeah. So I wanted to test it out. I'm like, this might be big for me. No, it wasn't a go. I was able to get it working at 1080p. I tried Cyberpunk. That was the game. When I got it at 2080p resolution, it didn't look like Sunny Cloud Gaming. It didn't look like Sunny's videos. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But there's some inconsistency is my point. It was kind of choppy. It was looking like it was sub 30. It was looking like there was some kind of tearing going. I don't know what the hell was going on. And I know that that's not indicative of what it might be for everybody. But that's my experience. I mean, what's your thoughts on Geforce Now?
And again, this is coming from, so if I can find the tweet, I'm gonna look for it too, Storm, because people think I'm capping. It's Stadia is not sending me a check. I'm not doing this because my choice got to be the infinite choice. Before I got my hands on the retail version of Stadia, I thought I was testing GFN for years. Let me just back up a little bit. I've been testing GFN since 2018. I hope you don't mind me saying this because we're supposed to be bitter enemies in real life, but we're not. Behind the scenes, we all laugh and joke and have a good time. But shout out to D Batch of RDX Podcast. D Batch, me and him was chatting behind the scenes. Me, him, and the real master. Shout out to him. We was chatting behind the scenes, and I was like, man, I'm ready to experiment with some game. We were just talking about PC gaming all together because we're in a DM with a whole bunch of console gamers, right? And the three of us, along with King's Blood Gaming, we really don't do much content anymore, but really there's not a lot of love for PC gaming. So we're all sitting there talking, and they're like, yo, MM2K, you know about this whole GFN thing. And I'm like, no, I ain't down with it. And so they put me down. They showed me how to get signed up for the beta and all that other stuff. So I've been playing GFN since there was only 40 games in there. Just like how the first year of Stadia, there was like a small amount of games. So GFN ain't come out of the scenes bursting with 800 games. They had to build up to that.
Right.
It's just they called it a beta and it was non-paid or whatever. So I've been testing GFN since then. And I liked it. And I was like, yeah, man, this is dope. The only thing is that, and I remember showing my brother and stuff like that. This is before Stadia even came out. You could play on your phone, but it wasn't the greatest. There was a lot of ghosting with GFN, and it was inconsistent. But I was like, it's still in beta, and that's okay. When it gets out of beta storm, it's going to be better. Well, it got out of beta, and it was still the same. They just had more games.
Let me say something real quick while the video that you're seeing is on the screen. See, we don't cap over here, y'all. We try not to at PNTS, man. We bring the facts because we know that receipts can happen and stuff. So as you're looking at it on the screen right now, Stadia, of course, it doesn't have, I have to remind you again, it doesn't have the numbers that Xbox and PlayStation has. So when I was trying to match make, now I'm in the top 20 right now, right? And I'm trying to find a match, y'all. And it's hard to find a match right now, but I could jump on Stadia right now and find a match in 20 seconds. Now, EA has sent out a message saying that there's some stuff going on. I was on Xbox Series X yesterday with the homie Project Kill in the party chat. It said 0 players online. Now, we know damn well there's not 0 players online on the Xbox. Exactly. So something weird is going on with Madden across the board. I think they sent out something regarding that. So I just want y'all to know. I put that up there for people to see as well. This was a live stream. I could have ended the stream after the first game.
Or closed it out.
Yeah, so I want people to know, man, it's not so Moss, what I'm saying is there's no reason to cap. There's no time for capping, right? Why?
Yeah, you ain't got a lot of kicking.
Why? That's right. Go ahead though.
Yeah, you ain't got a lot of kicking. And again, you ain't got a lot so other people can pick it. I'm a coin that one. We're gonna get that one copyrighted.
Let me write down BARZ.
Because
ARZ.
Here's the thing, Storm.
Bars out this.
The problem.
Go ahead, man.
The problem is that you get a lot of people that are over exaggerating experiences in certain places, so you can pick their choice.
Right.
Even though I prefer Stadia, I want all of cloud gaming. Like I said, if Stadia were to die, I'm just going to put out the scenario that I feel is unlikely. If Stadia retail was to die, I'm still going to cloud game. And my next option might be GFN. But see, I'm not going to be happy because the level of performance that I get from GFN fails in comparison to Stadia. So, yeah, they're going to be my favorite option, but I'm going to sit here and say, look, GFN, you got all this money plugged into you. You got Tim Swindle that pretty much is lifting you up from his bootstraps. You got Tencent doing the same thing. No excuse. This performance should be better, right?
Right.
Even though that's going to be where I'm going to spend most of my time at.
Mm-hmm.
With Stadia, I've mentioned time and time again, time after time. I had to do it. It's been a month.
Hey, you didn't get time to harmonize though, but it's all right though.
You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
That Stadia need to get more games. I've said that, and this looks like it's a move to do exactly that. But with that said, back to GFN. D Batch, my brother D Batch. Shout out to D Batch. He hooked me up, got me set up on there. You know what I'm saying? The real Maslin helped me get further and know how to operate GFN. I've been playing GFN since 2018. I've been testing all these platforms thoroughly since 2018. Everything that existed.
Me too.
When y'all ain't know what the hell that was, I was testing that out too. Shout out to the brother Soul King, that put me down with Shadow, right? Then I tested Xcloud. Was disappointed with that. Didn't have an opportunity to touch Stadia again since Project Stream, but when I originally was looking at this before Stadia came out, I said, oh, the best one is going to be GFN. It's going to be Shadow. And then, then whatever else comes is going to be there. Amazon might be good too. We don't know, but until I got Stadia in my hands. When I got Stadia in my hands and I played it, I said, holy shit.
Right.
This exceeds my expectations as far as what could be achieved with cloud gaming right now at the moment. We all know it's the future, but I thought that because I spent so much time with GFN that its capabilities were so far off. So believe you me when I say this. For the general consumer, I just feel that GFN is too inconsistent right now to usher in cloud gaming the way that it is, that it needs to be ushered. It has to get, I know they got 800 games, but see, the thing when people plop a game into their Xbox or plop a game into their PlayStation is they know that they're going to get smooth performance. They ain't going to get no ghosting, or they ain't got to use 50. Hey, look, bro, you got to use 55 megabits per second and go up to 1200p for you to get resolution and fidelity that messes with Stadia.
That's a fact.
Universally. Now on the client on your PC, that may not be the case. But if you're on a phone, if you're on the Fire TV or whatever the case may be, you better crank that mug up to 55 megs per second. Stadia is doing 4K now with 25. Then the condensing. So to me, GFN is a great conduit to games and cheap games, but they got a long way to go. They got a long way to go too, y'all. So those are my thoughts on GFN.
All right, so let's move. Go.
GFN, to me, GFN is better than Amazon at the moment. But go ahead.
All right, let's move on to Xcloud, man. We forgot about that one. Xcloud, you brought it up real quick. I tried it on my phone, y'all, 720p. I tried to do a workaround to get it on my desktop PC because I do have Game Pass Ultimate. I do believe in Xcloud. I do think that if Microsoft can get it together with this technology and whatever that deal was with Orion or whatever, or if they reach out to Stadia and say, hey, what can we do here like they did with Sony and in the Azure conversation or whatever, or Azure, as Bill Spencer would pronounce it. So that's how I'm going to say it. But like Xcloud, I think is dope because people were already playing Madden on that MM2K, but I can't get down with the fact that I'm forced to play it on my phone, which is not the most ideal experience when I have a 65-inch TV right here that does 120 hertz. And then I have another 55 TV to the left that, does 4K and is considered a quantum dot display from Samsung, both of them, right? I just can't see myself spending all day playing Xcloud on my phone. The signal was not always consistent. And here's that word, consistency and inconsistency again, man. I just can't. It's not there yet. And this is a fact. It's realistic. It's why we don't see a whole lot of Xbox gamers making content. And I can say this because I'm an Xbox gamer myself, right? I don't see a lot of videos out here where people just saying, yo, this is the dopest gameplay they can't go higher than 1080p. Unless unless you're doing workarounds. When I'm talking about like pound for pound, you know what I'm saying? It's just not there yet. Now, I do think this is the year that Xcloud is going to get together with, get it together with their service or whatever and offer up to 4K with that Series X hardware, those upgrades that they have hinted at. I think that's going to happen this year. I think Halo Infinite will be a good selling point for Xcloud MM2K, but when we go in performance and right now, today, at this hour, it's just not ready, man. What's your take?
Here's the issue that I have with Xcloud. And again, I'm going to be a little bit unfair here only because where I talk about with the other ones, what are they doing now? I don't like what Xcloud is doing now. It's not even in the discussion as far as I'm concerned. So that's solid. But I want to talk long term to where I'm even more pessimistic about what Xcloud is doing for two reasons. Number one, the setup. I just think that the setup is flawed. The setup of tethering our cloud experience to server blades that are built off a dedicated device experience. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, like right now, you guys are getting the experience off the Xbox One S, right? Then Microsoft told you, they said, hey, look, y'all, we're going to upgrade this to a One X experience to make it even better. But then they said, you know what, we're going to skip that and we're going to jump to the Series X. And then they said, hey, look, when the Series X, see, y'all forget this. I don't forget this stuff. I don't forget it. That's why y'all need to tune in. So y'all can collect the receipts and we can have a well-rounded discussion, regardless of what your favorite platform is or your favorite boxes, so you know what to ask for. Because when you forget this stuff, then they pull the wool over your eyes.
Yeah.
And that goes for Stadia or anybody. Yeah. That's why I'm rigorously fighting for Stadia to come out with a better message.
And they
I'm not letting none of these
Idaho potatoes over the head. You know what I'm saying? After
pull the wool over the hell yeah. Like was that Sacha Baron and Borat, the first one, when he was trying to kidnap what's her face? That shit was funny as hell, but still.
Yeah.
The thing is, y'all, they told you that when they released Xbox Series X, that the retail version of X, not the beta that you have right now, the retail version of Xcloud was going to release simultaneously with that. And guess what? That just poof, puff of smoke, that disappeared. Why? I believe the reason why is because the fact that the reason why Xcloud is the worst performing out of all of the major cloud services is because of its infrastructure. It's tethered to a box, a dedicated box, instead of a pure server blade, and Xbox is having difficulty transitioning from its server blade to server blade to server blade. They're having issues with that. So like, say for instance, when the Xbox Series X server blades finally do become active for Xcloud, yeah, it's going to be great. But guess what? In a few years, we're going to get an Xbox Series X2 Pro or mid-gen refresh. How long is it going to take for them to convert to that? So them being tethered to, in my mind, them being tethered to having to match the capabilities of the dedicated device box, it was a flawed approach. And hopefully they address that. Secondly, let's just say if the approach was right and it did work for them. My wife is so damn loud. I hope y'all can't hear that.
Can't hear it, man, at all.
Keep it down, goddammit.
Oh, can't do it. I need you, man. I need you now. You know what happened last time we were in the Division 2 stream, man.
I know. I couldn't talk out of the right side of my jaw.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But the second problem with Xcloud is right now they're in a battle to undermine cloud gaming and to minimize it. Remember, Phil Spencer came out there and said, I ain't got to sell you a box, baby. You can buy my goodies. I ain't got to sell you the box. He went from that to saying that cloud gaming is only good for when you're on the go. And Stadia proves that wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I think that they're still trying to figure out the best approach to deal with cloud gaming right now, because they're kind of in a fickle with the infrastructure, and they're in a fickle with the fact that they're trying to make sure that their box is running aligned with PlayStation 5. Now, there apparently is some good news. They're only 1 million behind right now, so hopefully they keep that trend up. But because of their fight with PlayStation right now, I don't know how hard of an impact they're going to have in the immediate future with cloud gaming. So that's why they're at the bottom of the list for me.
Okay, and then real quick, so PSN, we don't really have to go into that. You brought up 800 games on Geforce Now. PSN, similar thing. You know, Sony is not, they don't even appear to be taking that very seriously at the moment. However, things could be changing soon. There might be a shakeup, right? So we'll wait for that to happen before we go PSN. And then Shadow, you said something yesterday about it that stood out about the pricing and all that stuff. So
the pricing themselves out.
What's your take on Shadow?
Yeah, the problem with Shadow would be my number 2. Because out of performance, it's better than GFN. It's a lot more flexible to GFN because they give you a remote PC, for crying out loud. I love the graphic user. I love the GUI on the platform. I mean, on PC or on a phone, the graphic user interface is 1,000 times better than GFN. It looks better than GFN. It's more efficient than GFN. It's really the closest platform as far as performance to Stadia.
Yeah.
The problem with Shadow is that they're pricing themselves out of the market. Oh my God, sweetheart, keep it down, please.
Can't hear it.
Jesus,
I'll let you know when we can hear it. Like, oh.
Yeah, as soon as I get done rambling, there's gonna be some static. So with that said, with Shadow still it performs better than GFN. The problem is they price themselves out of the market with the subscription service and the itty bitty nitty space that they give you to install games. It's like for $59.99 you get 5 gigabytes of space, something crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
So if Shadow can find a way to stop pricing themselves out of the market, they could be a lot better.
I believe that. I believe in Shadow, man. I really did. I was able.
I'm gonna be right back.
Yeah, all right. I was able to stream Stadia through Shadow, y'all. Had some great success with it, and it was just dope because it was like having a second PC at the time. I had a budget PC that I was using as my main PC, and Shadow was allowing me to do things like stream Stadia and install, like use Streamlabs and OBS and all that stuff. Man, it was just like having a second PC, but it was all virtual. So Shadow was definitely far from trash, y'all. But yeah, that pricing structure, I was expecting them to come out with some 2080 Ti's on the upgrade, the tiers or whatever, or some 3070s, 3080s or something like that. But they decided not to go that route. Now they do have the Titan and all that stuff, y'all. But come on, man, like we have cars out here performing just as well or better than the Titans. So I'm not trying to pay that $30 to $40 or $50 or whatever a month for that. Now, I wanted to go into the reason why we brought all that up, y'all, is to show that none of these services are perfect. Like none of them.
Exactly.
So when people come out here and throw all that shade at Stadia, because see, Stadia was supposed to be dead from the beginning. I have an article, MM. I don't know if you have that article ready, bro. And the phone lines will, we might open them up before the show ends, but there's a lot of information still left, y'all. So we'll be trying to figure that out. But I dropped the article, and I don't know if you included that into the.
We got. I told you we're loaded with information today.
I just want you to put that up. Brother? I want to remind people that, and this came from 9 to 5 Google, the one I'm talking about.
Okay.
Said that. Hold on. That said that pretty much.
No, I don't think I got them.
Okay, don't worry about it. But basically, it had the title of it was something along the lines of. Let me see. Was it Google Stadia is dead? I dropped it. Let me find that. But MM, go ahead. Share something real quick while I find that.
Yeah. No. So overall, no. The Storm hit it perfectly. I think he hit it perfectly. That we gotta think holistically here. 5,000 feet. I know I say this ad nauseum, and y'all ready to throw up all over yourselves, but there's a reason why I keep saying that. Repetition is the mother of learning. I was taught by a wise person. Hopefully, it'll stick. Right. So. The problem is that if Stadia goes away, that doesn't. It's not like an albatross is rewritten for the rest of cloud gaming. It has ramifications for all of cloud gaming if Stadia goes away, for one, because I told y'all yesterday. I'll tell you again. I'm in Discord. I mean, not Discourse, but DMs with some of your favorite YouTubers, content creators, and so forth. The conversation right now is not, oh, yeah, Stadia's business model is bad, so we're going to be rid of Stadia, and all the cloud gaming platforms can really shine. Woohoo! That's not the conversation right now. The conversation right now, Storm, is we told you cloud gaming is not going to work. Cloud gaming sucks. Who's next to get this drubbing? Now, let's just say if next in line is GFN. They gonna rip GFN. Look at all this damn ghosting. They gonna rip it apart. Look at this damn. Why would I waste my? Why would I? Man, look at this graphic user interface. Every time I try to get on a game on my phone, it's it's so complicated. It is crazy.
They pull Activision 2K pull their games and other publishers.
Yeah, I can't get. Yeah, Activision. What did they pull their game? Come on, man. I don't want this trash. What's this trash? They gonna rip it ahead, and then the people that love GFN so much are gonna be sitting there crying. Because it's like my good brother Chase said, when they came for the barber, I said nothing. When they came for the butcher, I said nothing. When they came for me, there was no one left to help me. Y'all sitting there salivating all over all this over amplified news about Stadia because you're upset, and I'm upset too. I want better messaging, but I'm not going in the weeds with this. Y'all servicing this over amplified news. You're cutting off your nose to spite your face because the real enemy are those that want to shut down cloud gaming, that want to make it seem like it's not a profitable venture right now, and they would win tremendously. And it's just going to be a trickle-down effect for all the other services, period. Yeah. GFN's 800 games ain't going to save it. Amazon wanting to spend money regardless ain't going to save Amazon. Shadow, none of it's going to be saved. Is it? If Stadia goes the way that people are trying to make it seem like it, again, it's going to have ramifications for the rest of cloud gaming. Believe you me, because they're already sharpening their knives to destroy the next thing.
And I want to add a little bit of validity to that. Like this morning, I watched one of my favorite YouTubers at the time, man, like Linus Tech Tips. I'm sure you all have heard of him. They did a live stream, I want to say yesterday, about it was all about cloud gaming and the depth of cloud gaming and stuff like that, right? And they started it out with Google Stadia. And how Stadia is doomed to fail, even though a lot of what they were saying were like highly inaccurate, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so what I've been trying to tell people, is that there's a reason for all that. So here's the article. I'm not going to pull it up or anything because we're going to move right past it due to time's sake. But the article was on November 14th, 2019 from The Verge, and it was titled, "The World is Waiting for Google Stadia to Flop." November 14th, 5 days before Stadia even hit the market. You know what I'm saying?
Hit the joint, yeah.
Exactly. And why would the world be waiting for Stadia to flop? Well, some of these people like Linus Tech Tips and Digital Foundry and other sources like that might be out of a job. They might not have anything to do without that physical, the physical media and the physical hardware and all that stuff, right? So of course they're not going to buy into no damn Stadia and cloud gaming. So I expect them to go ahead and hate. You know what I'm saying? I can give them kind of like a pass, but they should know better at the same time. They should know better.
Yeah, they should. Yeah,
to know that the future is cloud gaming. And Rich from Review Tech USA, Brad Sams, and Tech Radar, and other sources like that, like those, have been saying they believe that cloud gaming is the future now. You know, so it's kind of like, what are we doing here? I don't know. So anything you want to share on that before we move?
There's definitely a power struggle in mindset, but the power struggle is still overwhelmingly, let's kill cloud gaming, because it's a business. This is a market. Like when you have cloud, like I hope I got into this argument with somebody in the DM. I'm not going to say who it was. I was about to break DM rules, but we were just joking. It wasn't an argument. We were just throwing barbs at each other. And so then I joked with the person. I said, "You just mad because you ain't going to be able to raffle off cloud gaming codes." You know what I'm saying? And the person responded to me, "Well, cloud gaming codes aren't that profitable anyway." And I'm like, "Bro, there really aren't any cloud gaming codes except when there's promotions." That's the thing with cloud gaming. There is no tangible hardware or physical thing or even digital construct to help you obtain that thing with cloud gaming. It's simply you go to whatever conduit, said platform is letting you play its games on, and that's it. So there, unless you want a t-shirt or a coffee mug, there's not a lot of swag, there's not a lot of trading or bartering that you can do in the benefit of cloud gaming. Like for instance, it was rumored that at the beginning of last generation, when PlayStation was making its mark, they were going to Xbox favorable places and giving them Sony TVs and giving them PlayStation 4s. when Xbox wasn't doing it. And that kind of helped a lot of the pro Xbox outlets be so negative on Xbox at the beginning of the generation. I even remember my contacts at GameStop telling me, because of said promotions, that it was easier to market PlayStation because PlayStation sat them down and said, look, we running with the 1080p 60 frames per second thing makes you a better gamer. You know what I'm saying? Here goes a few TVs. That's why all the GameStops had Sony TV. If you notice, all the GameStops had Sony TV Bravios in there. So there is none of that with Stadia. There is no tangible item to barter with. And that doesn't work for GameSpot. That doesn't work for IGN. And that doesn't work for Linus Tech, who the biggest ploy to those platforms is watching Linus Tech's nerdy ass pull the PC parts out of a box. And yeah, today we're going to go do this and we're going to fiddle with that.
Yeah.
That's the whole structure that makes their platform lucrative. And if cloud gaming succeeds,
why does it seem like they never? Why does it seem like they never go out and find all of our videos or other people's Stadia gameplay videos to see that it works? You know what I'm saying? Like, why does it always have to be? It's laggy. It doesn't work, and you need to have this and that. And why don't they ever highlight any of that to be more credible and reputable, man?
You know why? Because I'm two examples. Number is as clear as day. If you were Linus Tech Tips and your business was based off of, again, now we're going to fiddle with this cord. This red wire does this so phenomenal. If your business model was based on that, would you be praising cloud gaming?
I know the answer. So, yeah. I mean,
you got more integrity, but I'm saying if you're Linus, no, it's not. They just don't have the wherewithal to make that train. Like it's scary when your business model is based upon XYZ. It's like the Blockbuster effect. When your business model is based upon people walking into your store and grabbing a tangible item, and then Netflix comes out of nowhere, you're going to try to shoot down Netflix. The stuff that Blockbuster used to say about Netflix before Netflix ultimately, quote unquote, won, was crazy. And that's why you see these people saying what they say. Number two, Linus Tech Tips Storm already shot himself in the foot and proved that he is not to be taken at face value. Is he a smart guy? Yes, but beyond entertainment purposes, you're not to listen to this guy. Why? Because remember when he was going on about the PlayStation 5 SSD?
Yep.
He meant, the PlayStation 5 SSD can't do this and can't do that. It ain't worth this, not. And then this is a guy that's supposed to know everything about all this stuff. Had to retract that, but he was so vigorous about that. But see, the thing with PlayStation is they got a lot of people on their side, like Tim Sweeney, that's going to fight for them that are big names. Cloud gaming doesn't have big names on its side. And that's why it's a battle that we're losing right now against the big figures like Linus.
So let's get to the community portion, right? Should this all send a signal of some sort to some of the community members that's confused and just don't know? Because I know I was feeling confused. I told you, shout out to Raph Gaming, man. Hope all is well with the brother. Like Raph, I told you that keeps sticking out to me, man. The fact that he needed to take a break from all of this stuff, man. Hey, MM, you got to have some tough skin, man. As tough as leather.
To be straightforward like that.
You got to, and you also have to have tough skin and endure all of this stuff that's coming at you from every angle, including 5,000 feet. You know what I'm saying? So we want to get into the community portion because now, all right, so there's been some discourse and discussions, and we put that title that you see, Turmoil or whatever, and that's not made up because some people were feeling that way. Some people on Reddit, I remember seeing some Reddit posts that was talking about that. There's one on Journey to the Savage Planet that I just saw a couple days ago that used the word turmoil, right? So, and definitely those who don't believe in Stadia thinks that Stadia is dead. They've seen us as a community tackle these types of tough topics before, right? And and it wasn't always pretty, and it's not gonna always be pretty, right? But should we know better than to fall for the okey dokes of certain publications and journalists, and content creators and YouTubers and whatever the case may be, whatever they are? Shouldn't we know better than to know that we put time on the platform? Now, this is just me asking y'all. If we put time in the platform, we know what. Okay, I'm not saying don't be. Let me correct this, man. I'm not saying don't be quick to believe in all things Stadia, everything that Stadia is telling you, and all that stuff. I'm not saying that, but should we should we be able to get past some of these things to enjoy the experience of Stadia MM2K, or are we going to harp on this and let it bring us down? Now some good gestures just happened, as you saw in the community. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Avery and all of them for putting together the whole thing. I was working. I wanted to be a part of that. I had to work. I was busy, swamped. You know what I'm saying? I had Zoom classes and stuff to do. So I wasn't able to get out there and do everything, but it was a good gesture. I was able to go back and I put a like on everything. And so that's beautiful. We got things like that happening. But I'm kind of worried about the message that it sends to those would-be new consumers that want to try Stadia, that who jumped on the platform because of Madden, the free weekend, for example, right? And now they're in here like, oh, wait a minute, Stadia has a community? Because I do think that's happening on a daily basis where people are joining this platform and they're like coming in blind. They don't know what the hell is going on. We know that because we see it on Twitter, for example, all the time. Hey, guys, I had no idea, man. Damn, people actually play this thing like they have. So that's where my message is coming from, a place like that. So, I mean, should we know better than to kind of like drag this on, I don't have the best way of making it sound pretty and putting it in a damn bowl and all that stuff. I can't always do that. But are we responsible for that? All right. Are we responsible for the outlook of the platform from the content creator side of things or whatever, man? Y'all know what the hell I'm trying to say. I get worked up.
Well, here's I look at it two ways. First way is I want to say yes and no. Both answers are correct. Here's why. I'm going to get to the yes first.
Okay.
The yes portion is, yeah, I think what this situation has done has been like a decoder ring to the community. It's shown the people who legitimately are concerned with the messaging. And I'm sorry, it showed three things. It showed people that are legitimately concerned with the messaging. B, people that are just fatigued. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to speak for the homie Raph, but I think you're just fatigued. Like when you deal, like everybody, like I'm a little psycho. Okay, I love you. I'm like the dude in 300 that whips out the sword while everybody's coming. I don't care. I don't give a damn. You can come for me all you want. I'm gonna chop you down, chop. So you can imagine my DMs, the messages that I got from the crumb side when this news hit. I had people, saying all types of crazy stuff for me. Some I just like ignored because they were too corny to it. They weren't even worth my time. Others I engaged and chop. Yeah. And until they all realized that they needed to step the hell off because they you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go at you. So if you're not psycho like me, if you weren't brought up in Fight Club like me, it could be worrying. I can see where all you want to do is enjoy this platform and you're getting attacked left and right because and then it's not you're getting it. It would be one thing if you were getting attacked and all the evidence was in its favor and you knew it in your heart of hearts that Stadia was done. There's no denying it.
Yeah.
Then the only thing you could do is just go away and hide. But the other thing that makes it more emotionally impactful is that they're saying this about Stadia without enough proof. And then to back up their proof, they're saying things that aren't solidified in anything. They're in factual, like you said, what Linus Tech Tips did. Yeah. It ain't rooted in fact. So you want to go back and forth, but for every comment that you give, there's going to be 12 more that's saying, you dummy, you this. So I get where it's emotionally taxing. So that's group A. It's the people that are just emotionally taxed. So I don't blame them. The other group I don't blame are the group that is concerned with the messaging. And I'll just leave that because that's actually going to go into my second half of this. Now, group C is this decoder ring that I mentioned, Storm.
Yeah.
It exposes those that, again, really didn't like Stadia all like that or really was falling away from the platform. Let me do this real quick. Shout out to the homie Donnie of PSVG and the people at PSVG. PSVG used to cover Stadia thoroughly at the beginning, well before I even thought about doing this. Then when Stadia launched, they said it's not for us. And what did they do? They left.
Right.
And why did they leave? They left and they said, because we have a lot of support in other platforms. We cover Xbox news, PlayStation news, all that other stuff. So we're not going to focus our time on something where our heart's not at. So kudos to them. And I'm not going to say that's the only reason why they did it. They seem like they have integrity to me, regardless if they were getting support elsewhere or not. They likely would have said, you know what, our heart's not in this, so we're just going to have to cover something else. But here's the problem, Storm. You have a lot of people that, quote unquote, aren't as fortunate as PSVG and can't cover no one else because they can't get no traction nowhere else. So they still linger in the community.
Yeah.
Even though they really don't care for Stadia. I just got to keep it.
I feel like that. I feel like that too. Go ahead.
My brother Brian Chappelle, when he dropped his videos, you know what I'm saying? And definitely check out his videos. Some great stuff. Now I know that he kind of took some shots and all that other stuff. And again, I'm from the Crumb side. To me, that's not horrible. It was entertaining to see and all this stuff. And whenever I
actually laugh, man. I actually laugh because I know, you know what I'm saying? I know everybody involved, man. I mean,
and I've been in video. Look, I've been in videos where people, my brother Porter Rock, I've been in videos where people felt like they had to expose me or whatever. And I just had an answer video, and not me and Porter Rock are the best of friends now. That being said, people are going to call you out when you're staunch about stuff, but if evidence doesn't support it, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So with that said, we just got to be truthful. There are just elements within the community that.
So, Moss, I asked that, brother. And I want you to throw this into your answer too, man. I asked this for a reason to provide a little bit more clarity, man. Do we have a duty or a responsibility, Moss? Like Stadia Doses News, I keep hearing you say you take pride in the consumers, and you do that for them, and that's where it was coming from, a place of informing the new consumers, the new players. You know what I'm saying? Those who were on the fence but have come over since Cyberpunk and stuff like that. Man, do we want the narrative to be Stadia's funeral will be here one day? Let's just hope that it comes tomorrow, or not hope that it comes tomorrow and keep on. You know, it's just. I don't know. I can't find a lot of sense in continuing this whole thing because all it's gonna do is drag our moral down. You know what I mean? It's the morale and morals, right? It's gonna drag our morale down, right? It's gonna keep us concerned instead of enjoying Journey to the Savage Planet, for example, y'all. A hell of a fun game, hilarious, beautiful game that was the game snapped me out of this whole funk, MM2K. So that's what I'm saying, bro. I'm coming from a place of that.
I'm going to say this. I think the answer is somewhere in between, which leads to the second part. The answer is somewhere in between because even though I don't think the evidence, and we can segue to that whenever you're ready, I don't think the evidence supports that Stadia is dying. Or this is a white label affair. I do think Stadia needs to go out there and answer some questions in a reasonable way. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because we have the feeling that we have, Storm, if you're looking at this unbiasedly and we're being honest, the way that they communicated this shift and change wasn't good.
That's a fact. I do agree 100,000%.
It wasn't good. And like I said, that's why there's two other wings of this. People that are quote unquote in turmoil, the people that are just fatigued, and they'll come back. They're fatigued and they're like, okay, I had some time to just.
When will they come back and why? That's another thing I have, y'all, that bothers me, man. Are we going to come back when it's the Super Bowl? Yeah, we made it to the Super Bowl. Now I'm a Cowboys fan. Yeah,
no.
Let's go.
Those are the people in Wing 3. Those are the people in Wing 3. Again, let me explain. I'm gonna re-explain the three wings. Wing number one are the people that are fatigued with all the criticism. They've been rocking out with Stadia, fighting for this, and then they saw the messaging and they're like, damn, we just killed it with Cyberpunk 2077. What is going on here? And I'm tired, and it's frustration. They're gonna come back. They've been people that have been rocking out since day one, and you've seen some of them, and they're starting to come back now anyway.
Right.
Wing 2 are people that are just reasonably dismayed because of the messaging. They might have some hope, they might not, but they're waiting for Stadia to solidify that for them. That's wing 2. Wing 3 are the people that were lingering. Unlike Donnie from PSVG, who said, look, my heart ain't in this thing. But they said, and we got other stuff going on. So we're not going to sit here. As great as the Stadia community is, we don't feel for this platform anymore. We're rolling, right? Yeah. Shout out to y'all. I think that was the honorable thing to do. There are some that are still lingering that feel the way Donnie feels, but again, they have nowhere else to go. They feel they have nowhere else to go. So they linger and they continue to bash. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, all you gotta do is go to the timelines and see. Every other platform is great. Stadia is this and that, and the other. That's all you got to do is go to other platforms and see. So those people tend to be the one, Storm, that when Stadia is doing great, oh yes, love Stadia, this, that, and the other. Man, and as soon as something doesn't go their way, or let's just say Stadia is a little silent for a little bit, they're not making any news. That's when all the doubts and all the questions and hey, here goes a crazy question. That's when all that silly stuff happens, right? So again, I do believe, and honestly, looking at everybody that's involved here, I do think that there is a large sector of people that are dismayed and confused. But again, this is also helping to expose those that love the community, but really don't love the platform.
All right. Okay. I mean, that kind of helped me out a little bit, but it's kind of like, man, like, I just wish that. So you still didn't answer this one part though, MM. How does this look to the new consumers coming in?
It doesn't look good, but here's how I see it. And to address the letter, and again, I didn't want to make this about me, but I had people that asked me, how come you didn't participate in that? I thought the idea was noble. I thought the intentions were in the right place. Mm-hmm. But the way I feel, my message, again, and I don't represent all of Stadia Dosage. Storm has a voice too, and whether we agree or not, his voice is to be heard. But I didn't think the best way to convey my message, Storm, to the new people as well, is to say, relax. All I can do is show you the proof and say, hey, look, on an 8-to-1 basis, the actual evidence, not the speculation, not the educated guesses, the evidence points that in the favor of Stadia retail surviving for a long time, or that's their goal. Whether it's successful or not, we don't know. Google doesn't know yet. But the belief that Google is going to work at this long term, the evidence supports that. That being said, they haven't conveyed it well, and perception is 9/10 of the law. So I don't think the reason why I may have not answered that question cleanly, Storm, is because I don't think it's up to us. Regardless of what a bunch of people making videos say, if Google goes out there and speaks confidently, they can shut everybody the hell up. And that's all they got to do. And for some reason, I get this feeling that they think that they can communicate the way they normally communicate and it'll smooth over, and it won't. So I can't answer that question. The only thing I can say is my contribution to the Stadia Dosage platform is to show y'all the facts and to base my feelings off the facts. When it comes to reinstilling confidence, that's Google's job, and they got to do it because they haven't done it so far.
Yeah, you're right about that. So I understand how that could look, y'all. I'm not, I'm kind of smart. You know what I'm saying? I do understand that the same way that we expect those consumers to be greeted in a positive light, you have to also, as a consumer advocate, no pun intended. Shout out to my brother Chase. You have to do it both ways. I do get that, y'all. However, I just had to ask. I thought it was a fair question to ask, so I put it out there. Now I do want to get into these numbers, man. We keep talking numbers, like, let's see if we could put something up there, hop in the time machine and see if we can make something happen, man. Hold on. All right, we got the most live. All right, this article here. If I may, let me touch on it, man, because I saw it yesterday over on your channel, bro, or our platform. See, 2021. Go ahead, man.
Yes.
What were you about to say? Because you know what I'm
No,
about.
no. Which article is that? Because I can
Alright.
put it up there. You can go to the
So
most
I'm
view.
seeing the winding down, the highlighted that the brother dropped on Twitter or whatever. I'm seeing that.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
Yep. Let's
Okay,
do
so
that.
see, because I had some thoughts on that, but see, it's hard to talk from the chat when you're live. It's
Yeah,
difficult. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Because you would have
Yep.
moved on to another topic by the time I finished my thought. So,
Yep.
but right here, while you got it up, man, this right here I thought was brilliant because it was how I was feeling. Because when I first heard the doom and gloom when it first dropped, I was like, yo, where it had me so panicked that I did feel like wrath. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Yep.
Moss, man, hold on. I hit you up. I said, yo, wait a minute. We got to talk about, whoa, wait a minute. I put it in all caps too. Am I right? I dropped it in the DM, man.
Yep.
We need to talk now about Stadia. Yo, like I was
Yep.
really feeling like this was doomsday. It was really about to be the day when the service was shutting down and we was about to be getting certain downloads and everything and try to find our games on Steam and all. I thought it was done. And it wasn't until, we did podcasts. We jumped on with Duncan and that great show that we had. We jumped on with Chase after that. I jumped on with Chase after that and others. And we continued that discussion, man. But I never had time to go and read for myself, really, right? I was just listening to what everybody else was sharing. And it's like, it was kind of like people left out some of these words that's highlighted right here. So I was like, damn, when I read it myself, I'm like, yo, this made me feel more optimistic. That's when you start hearing me and MM chirping like birds and like, yo, optimism. I feel more optimistic now knowing that what Stadia's vision might be. Like, so that's why I wanted to go ahead and touch on that real quick.
Yeah. So this was actually, so I can't take credit for this. Shout out to the people at Stadia Life on Twitter.
Stadia Life.
They like to troll and stuff like that. Like I said, I come from Fight Club. So people that like to troll here and there, I don't mind. It's just when you target people, like we had the one that I thought they were starting off doing innocent trolling and they was targeting somebody. It was like, no, that ain't the ticket. That's not how we do things.
Yeah.
But they took this thing and they said, look, here is this statement from Phil Harrison. I can see from a mainstream level, from a casual level, how this doesn't suffice in restoring confidence. But for us that are in the know, that look at the technicalities of things in the nitty gritty, there's enough in here for us to chillax a little bit. As Brian Chappelle was telling us, you know what I'm saying? Like, basically, and I love this analogy that bro was saying, like when he caught it from Will Smith, where he said it looks like when Will was talking about how his dad told him the best way to lay down, make a wall, and you might get intimidated because you're thinking of what the wall's going to look like at the end.
Yep.
And his father came back to him and said, look, no, if you just lay it down brick by brick, put each brick in the right place.
Perfectly as you can.
As perfectly as you can, you're going to have that wall. So don't make this job more tasking than it needs to be. And he said and I felt the same way even before I saw the video. This is what Stadia seemed like that they did. I don't think Stadia had no business, because we talked about this storm behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. I don't think they had no business opening a first party studio before they had some way to subsidize it. I remember when Jade Raymond walked out on stage, because you heard Aaron Hoffman, John, and everybody talking, right?
Yeah.
And the first thing that came to me was, this is going to be a platform where second-party development and third-party development is going to shine. When they were talking about all this integration and the prerequisite for Project Chimera, where they was talking about just plugging in a little bit of information and all this stuff would happen. I said, ooh, developers are going to love this. And if it works on Stadia, this is going to be dope. I didn't think they were going to start with a one-piece studio. Then Jade Raymond walked out, and I'm like, oh, well, this is a daunting task. But I guess if they're going to do this, they got it under control, right? And to Bryant's perfect analogy, they didn't. and I think they finally realized that, so they're scaling back. But this letter also signifies that if you look at the key words that are highlighted here. Recent successful Stadia technology, proven, works, continue, invest, Stadia, platform, 2021, expanding, platform, long-term, sustainable, beyond any near term. what current or future games continue. We're committed. Goal, best possible flat platform for gamers. So yes, as much as I storm, and I'll shut up after I say this, as much as I rip Stadia for its marketing of this move, for those of us that are in the know, that get into the P's and Q's about this stuff, there is enough here to suggest that they are looking at doing a rebuild. So it shouldn't be that shocking to us that people feel that way, whether we want them to communicate it better or not. I want them to communicate it better, because just because you try something doesn't mean it's going to work. Just because Amazon, that's why I said Amazon gets no stripes from me. Just because they say we're going to keep trying doesn't mean that it's going to work. Show me, explain to me in tangible ways how you're going to make it better, because this is going to be Amazon's third reboot. You started Lumberyard, you know what I'm saying? Then you hired all these people. Then you fired 200 people before you started. Then you started again, put out Crucible, New World, and some other game, and then that got reorged, and those got shelved. Now you're giving it a third try. Show us how you're going to do better, is what I'm saying. And that goes across the board for everybody. So if you don't like the prospect of Google not showing you how they're going to do better this time around, you definitely shouldn't be secure in Amazon, because they keep trying and they keep failing. So I just want to put that out there. But go ahead, brother.
Man. And that's a hell of a point right there. And you got to bring up Xcloud and all of them, Shadow and all that, because we waited for the new Shadow tiers. We waited for those tiers thinking it was about to be the truth. I'm up here telling people, yo, subscribe right now. I'm telling you, man, the new tiers are going to come out. It's going to be more price friendly. They had just dropped the price for the boost model and all that stuff. And then they hit us with the structure that they came up with, the restructuring. And I was like, barf. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Barf.
Yep.
But,
yep.
So, man, let's move on to something else, man. Let's get into some numbers, man. There was some kind of investor, and on Monday, I guess it was, we learned that people were saying that it was going to be an investor call or something the following day after the bad news came. And I went out there and tried to look up some numbers myself. I don't fully understand how these stocks work and all that, y'all. I have a basic level understanding, but I was able to take a couple things from some of these articles that I was reading, and I was able to formulate my own opinion or whatever, right? And that opinion, it kind of ties into what you're going to show. It kind of ties into the overall plan. You know what I'm saying? We knew that Google had to be losing money somewhere. That's something that I thought about with my basic level understanding. It just made sense. Anything that makes common sense to me, I go with. So somehow, some way, they were losing money. But then I learned that it was like the cloud computing sector that was losing the money. Now, is Stadia a part of that, MM?
Well, it's not letting me in. Ain't this something?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it would be something, right? Investor Business Daily, I see. Yeah, and it's not letting you in there. Like, we got...
But no, basically what they're saying, Storm, is, because I got notes on it.
Yeah.
And they're giving, and we can put a link to it out in the chat, they're giving everybody an understanding that by Stadia doing this, that same Monday, the stock went up. The culmination of them making this announcement, and them talking about doing some stuff with Ford, with this cloud tech, like that reinsured the market that they're really trying to high power their cloud tech, and they got an avenue to really make some headway, because everybody, regardless of what everybody feels about Stadia, the universal thing that you're hearing now, less than not, even though, is that the Stadia tech is impressive, right?
Yeah.
So they got this impressive thing in their back pocket. So regardless of the mistruths, the one truth that is universal is that the Stadia tech is impressive. So on news of them trying to merge this tech in with vendor relationships, wholesale relationships, and trying to, and then them doing more stuff on the cloud, the stock went up on this announcement. This is before the Tuesday stock call. This was on Monday. And that's what this article speaks to. But unfortunately, we done looked at it too many times. So now it's blocking us out. But interesting stuff, Storm. And I want to say this too, that I know there's a lot of upheaval about them leasing out their product. That never concerned me, and I'm a little confused on why that's concerning so many people. It's concerning a lot of people, like Robert Back, I think his name is, of Chrome Unboxed. He has a very interesting article out there where he's talking about this. Robbie Payne, not Bach. I don't know where the hell I got Bach. Robbie Payne of Chrome Unboxed. And I was a little confused on why he was concerned about this, but then he's admitted, he's like, I'm not really a gamer. And he does know a lot of stuff about Google, but if you understand gaming, then you got to understand this.
Yeah.
Microsoft, in the year that Sony did $16 billion, Sony did $16 billion in revenue in a year that was its most successful year in its 24-year history at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Xbox's worst year as far as sales were concerned, direct unit sales of the console and software. Guess how much my Xbox made?
How much?
$10 billion. So they weren't far off from Sony. Hence why Sony said, hold on, we threw everything but the kitchen sink at this. And Microsoft still made $10 billion. A lot of that is based off of them licensing technology.
Yeah.
Microsoft licenses a lot of technology. They leverage a lot of their, stuff, even when it comes to games like Minecraft, licensing it to schools and stuff like that. So because of Xbox's licensing technology, like there's a major engine or something, the Havoc engine. Like, come on, them licensing off certain parts that are integral to Xbox doesn't mean that Xbox is shutting down. It means that even in bad years, Xbox can make a shit ton of money. Excuse my French. Amazon with AWS. AWS is being offered to other people like Ubisoft and whoever to make these channels. Does that mean that Luna is dead? No, it just means that, hey, they're going to people and they're saying, we're going to give you an opportunity to utilize our tech at such and such cost. And the cost is going to be more efficient for them than to maintain this themselves. I know that Robbie Payne was making an argument that at some point in time, these game companies are going to have their own features. It's not going to be so easy. Streaming gaming and streaming videos is completely different. You got to have latency is a big thing. And that's where the bulk of the tech comes in, Storm. And so it's not easy. It's easy to stream games as it is to stream movies. So yeah, a Peacock can pop out of nowhere. CBS can pop up out of nowhere with their own streaming service. It's not going to be easy for these game techs that really got a lot on the line, $500 million budgets for games. So they're going to be more willing to approach a Microsoft, an AWS, or now a Google to front their games. But I get it. Robbie, as great as he is on Google stuff, he's a little detached from the gaming side of it. That being said, it's an interest, but he gives a lot of great points. So I definitely urge to read the article. And I think my brother, the gaming advocate Chase, had put links to all that out there. Definitely check it out. It's something to listen to get a well-rounded look at the whole discussion. That being said, I don't know. I'm a little confused on why we're losing our stuff over them licensing the technology behind Stadia. The only difference, Storm, is that the technology powering Stadia doesn't have a name. Like Amazon's technology has a name. It's called AWS.
Yeah.
Microsoft's technology has a name. It's called Azure. So what if Project Hellstorm is going to be the technology
right into it?
Powering Stadia is just a gaming platform, just like how Luna is Amazon's gaming platform, just like how Xbox is Microsoft's gaming platform. You see what I'm saying? So before we dig too deep into doom and gloom, we don't know enough. So that's why I say let's keep the discussion at a fathomable level, 5,000 feet, and look at all these prospects. Because again, the whole white labeling argument is not supported by the amount of facts out there. Again, it could be right. I don't know. but the amount of effects that are out there is outweighed by them having a long-term sustained retail option.
Yo, let me ask you something, man. So we've already highlighted Chase today, the gaming advocate, y'all,
Yes,
for his
my brother Chase.
for the show that he had going on, and I thought was
I gotta
well grounded
check
and
that out,
balanced,
y'all.
man.
Definitely.
Well grounded and balanced, right? We also highlighted Bryant Chappelle of the Nerf Report and hit the great job that he did with his recent videos or whatever, man. At a time when we needed to laugh, you know what I'm saying? It brought me a little bit of laughter, you know. And it's yo. So on top of that, we gave kudos to Avery pretty much for, and whoever was responsible for that great event that happened yesterday that shows that the community is very much together and alive, right?
Yep.
And now I want to go over to Jim Stadia, man. Jim.
Oh yeah.
The APK, the king of the APK breakdowns, teardowns, or whatever you want to call them, right? Shout out, sub. If you haven't, to all of these great content creators, man, they do hard work. Sub to their channels when you get a chance. But hey, anytime, all right, I'm gonna tell you right now, Project Hellstorm, all right? I'm already a little biased because it has Project in it and it has Storm in it, right? But in between those two, it has Hell. Hell Project
hey, Storm, can you switch
Hell
the slide?
let me switch it. Switch it to back to the game.
From gameplay. So switch it to the full screen gameplay. See that, man? See you kill dude in
Madden.
Yeah.
Let me switch it back to that, man. I didn't want to keep showing it to people, but people need to see it, man. Hold on. Let me make sure I hit the right thing. All right. Full screen. I'll bring it to you on full screen while we talk about this. But Jim does the APK teardowns as he always does, and in that he he gave credit to whoever sent it to him, and in that there was a mentioning of Project Hellstorm. Now, we won't go too long on what we think because I know how people feel about speculation. Although I will say that speculation is pretty much the majority of some of the conversations that's going on right now as far as content creation and videos that I see. It's kind of like it's fun at times to speculate. But with Project Hellstorm, after hearing your thoughts today, man, I'm almost convinced that it has something to do with this new branding of Stadia. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's a full rebrand. You were just bringing up the fact that AWS is what Amazon has. Microsoft has Azure or whatever. Project Hellstorm could be a number of things. It definitely doesn't sound like anything that's negative or small when it comes to scale. So that has me a little hype. I'm not saying, guys, that you should be out here like, yo, it's about to be Stadia Gen 2 and all this other stuff like that. I'm not saying that, right? It could be any damn thing, though. So you're safe to speculate, in my opinion. I just think whatever it is I think it's gonna help propel Stadia to that level where that Phil Harrison was speaking of or whatever in that post. So with that being said, man, what do you think? Honestly, what do you think Project Hellstorm could consist of?
Well, shout out to Jim for working on that diligently. And whoever sent him the APK. I remember seeing that. I had took a slight nap in the morning because I was tired. I was up 24 hours.
Yeah, the person was anonymous. Yeah, he said the person.
Yeah, they wanted to be anonymous. And I saw that and I was like, ooh, crap, let me get it to him. And then he had already got it. So I wanted to see. Because again, I think everybody was interested. The first thing everybody looked for is Project Hellstorm in there. Is Project Hellstorm in there.
Right.
If Project Hellstorm is in there, then that's a positive sign that there is a long-term systemic plan for retail. What I think what Project Hellstorm could be is I think Project Hellstorm definitely has something to do with the retail side of Stadia. Stadia is a retail platform right now as it is. We still got LG TVs that are going to get the retail version of Stadia.
Yep.
So unless they're looking to change Stadia and create a wholesale portal version of Stadia, this has to do something with it's just powering your games. So it might be Gen 2 as the homie Bippity Bop put in there.
And it also said something like taking it to the next level or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, exactly. Take your game.
Yep. To the next level.
I don't know what it is, but again, I just got to throw the question out there. I don't see if you're looking to wind things down, I don't see why you like the the decision to do this with the first party had to come before the deal was signed with LG. And then on top of that, you got the LG deal. Then you got the whole YouTube job posting thing. It's just there's just a lot out there, and again, it beckons me to question why you would continue with these initiatives if you're looking to wind it down. You normally just go business as status quo. If you got games coming, you still put the games out there. You still get your money back from signing those deals, and you get your money back. But then you don't put these further initiatives out there. So
yeah, shout out to Eddie for just giving us those extra.
Shout out to Eddie. He says, importantly, Stadia 3.2 also appears to include code to begin work on Hellstorm with 2 distinct mentions of create Hellstorm request Project Hellstorm. Yeah, I mean, let Project Hellstorm by Stadia take your gaming experience to the next level. So again, it's going to be interesting to see. Again, we don't know anything. I don't want to say the people that are doubtful or wrong. I don't know that. But like I said yesterday, I just am curious at where some of the people that are doubtful, they want to just shut off the discussion and say, no. It's dead. They don't even want to talk about it any further.
Hey, the writing's on the wall. It's dead. I mean,
the writing's on the wall. No, I don't. Let's have a full throat. I don't agree with that, but I'm willing to listen to what you got to say, so we can have a thoughtful discussion that is fruitful for the listeners. Mm-hmm. And that's just one of my concerns. That's all.
All right. Hey, look, man. Look, so far, y'all, we've been having a great show. Now, we didn't want to go too long, but this is one that we knew we were going to be going a little bit over time. We wanted to keep it at an hour and a half. We wanted to open up the phone lines, y'all, but this,
phone lines is open.
Phone lines are open right now. If anybody would like to call in, the MM2, the bot will handle that link if he hasn't already dropped it. You know what I'm saying? But, it's just so much. So, MM, I want to close it by asking, now, if anybody wants to call in, feel free to do so. But these are closing questions or whatever, right? Are we fanboying? Because after this news, after all of this news, we should certainly be ready to jump ship, man. But are we fanboying because we are deciding to remain optimistic for the platform? Are we fanboying?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I don't think you're fanboying just because you're being optimistic, because the evidence outweighs it 8-1. We didn't really get a chance to get into that evidence, but I will real quick.
Yeah. Not today, but we will another time, believe it.
And I'll just run through it like super. I mean, I'm just going to mention it. Number one, we already broke down the statement from Google. We already talked about the long-term investment in retail functionality, which is shown by the same day that they let these people go, y'all, which was sad. But the same day they let them go, they made a further investment in Stadia by putting out a job for a project manager to help integrate things between Stadia and YouTube. Now, if you're going to be a white label, why are you making investments to integrate the wholesale version? I mean the retail version. Oh, we got a call. Hold on 1 second.
I hope I can hear it.
Hello, you are live with MM2K and Project Storm on SML Podcast. Who is it that we're talking to, and what is it that you want to bring up, our good friend?
Project MM2K. How y'all doing? What's going on? This is your man, D Maculus.
Hey,
Maculus in the building. What's going on, brother?
No here, man. How you been?
All right. Doing all right. The first thing I wanted to say, man, because I know y'all on short time, I don't want to take up too much of your time.
That's okay. No, you good, brother.
I appreciate the work you guys are doing, because you guys are being a positive beacon for the negativity that is going on. And you guys do spit facts when a lot of other people spit theories. So I appreciate you guys for that. Both of you and Project Storm are really good. You guys are really good at what you do, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
I know that y'all said something about the earnings and AWS and Google Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know about that. because part of what I do, I have to read balance sheets and I have to look at earnings.
Yep.
Google Cloud, just so everybody knows, has been profitable since the day it started.
Okay.
AWS is profitable also because they have more of a reach, and they're trying to reach more of the Asian market.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what you see, that those big numbers out there for AWS, that's more of the Asian market that they're trying to reach, which is Google trying to reach also.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna get off of that because I know we got short time. I'm gonna go back.
Man, hey, take your time. We'll go. Hey, we'll
Take
go,
your time, brother.
We'll
Because
go if we have
the
to.
people need to hear this, man. They need to
Right.
be educated. That's what this is about.
Okay, so I'm backtracking to the time the report came out about Google shutting down their first-party service.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna sit right here. It struck me too.
Mhm.
I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Exactly.
What's going on
Yep.
here? Because all I saw was the headline. I just saw the headline.
Yep.
And so I busted open and I started reading the actual article. And I was like, okay, I get it. I get what they're trying to do.
Yep.
This has happened before. This
Yes.
has all happened before. If we can all remember back in the Microsoft, Xbox 360, when they was having all that success back then.
Yes. Thank you. Go ahead,
Microsoft
brother.
Studios closed down.
Yes.
They closed their studios down and they wanted to focus on third party.
Yeah.
This has all happened before. So that's why when I saw this, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I remember when Microsoft did the same thing.
Exactly.
Yes.
So if I can pull it back even further, people say, well, exclusives are extremely important for a platform. They sell them. Yes, they are important. I won't say they aren't. They are important. But here is another thing I can pull out. Remember the Sega Genesis?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They had exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not around anymore.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. They don't guarantee success.
I'm just, exactly. I'm just trying to give a perspective so people can see that this is nothing new. This has all happened before. There's just a change in the pivot. And I'm going to give my opinion what I think the pivot is.
Yeah.
When Google said that they were going to be on the LG TVs, and when I forgot his name, the guy that was speaking, saying that they're not going to let us know if they have updates, things like that.
John Justice.
What's his name?
John Justice.
Yes, John Justice. Right. Now, when I sat there, I heard a lot of confidence in his voice.
Mm-hmm.
He was very confident in their tech.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, we see the LG deal,
Yep.
which is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you go and you look at what's going on now, so Google's like, okay, we probably don't have as big market share as Amazon when it comes to the Asian market,
Yep.
but we got them beat when it comes to the gaming market.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what we can do is we can put more effort into our gaming
Yes.
side
Yes.
because we have tech right now that no one has.
Right.
Yes.
So that's why I keep seeing that tech. It's like, yes, people are taking that tech and they're pulling it out of context. Google is trying to say is that we have something no one else has.
Right.
Mhm.
You guys want exclusive games, fine. You can get that in the future. But for right now,
Yes.
we have technology that you cannot find anywhere
We
else.
have exclusive
Yes.
tech.
And you need it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So when you have this, so when you have this kind of exclusive technology, why won't you put more energy into creating more of a cyberpunk experience
Yes.
to where they can say, hey, the definitive place to play is on Stadia,
Mm-hmm.
which is what no one was expecting.
Right.
Yes.
I have a friend that has a PlayStation 5, and he was pretty sour when that happened. He's like, whoa, wait. He was like, hold on. What you mean it's playing better on Stadia? He was like,
Yeah.
what you talking about? He was like, nah, man, that means it's made for Stadia. I'm like, no, sir. I said, Google took their time. They sent their engineers over there to work with them to get the game playing properly.
Yep.
And this is what we get. Madden just came out, and I cannot believe
Oh,
how
yes.
the game is playing on
Yes.
Stadia.
Oh man,
Yes.
that's why I had to
I
highlight
am
it.
blown away.
I had to highlight it.
Yes. Madden on
So-
Stadia is sick. It's sickening how good it works.
Exactly.
Now I will say this, D-Mac.
So
They
I'm looking at-
cross-play. I could say this for Madden 22. Cross-play would make this thing the best game on this platform, in my opinion. I'm just saying, man. Cross-play for 22,
man, I'm
man.
telling you.
It's
Oh
crazy.
man, it'll blow up if it had crossplay.
Yeah, but
Yep.
they said they're working towards
It
that,
would
though.
blow up.
They said
Yeah.
they were working
Yeah.
towards that. You know, so
Yeah. Exactly. And I don't want to step on toes. I don't want to do that. Like I said, I'm just trying to put my views out there. But I will say this though. In controversy, you find a person's true character.
yeah, I agree.
It has to happen through controversy.
I agree.
So, so when this controversy happened, I did speak with I remember speaking with 6'4". That same
Shout out
day.
to the brother
Shout out
6'4".
LXIB.
Right. Explaining my perspective. Right. And I told him, I said, I'm going to predict something. I said, I think the community is going to fracture. I said, what you're going to see, I said, you're going to see that people who really didn't have their heart in it are going to leave.
Yeah.
And people who had heart with this are going to stay. I said, you're going to see that. And not a day later, they started happening. So, I mean, I'm just saying, because what happens is people get their feelings hurt because they riding with a platform. But it's just like my cousin said, he was in boxing. He said, everything goes well until you get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Then all the plans are thrown out. All the plans are thrown, oh, Lord, I got hit in the face.
Right.
And I think what happens is your heart get tested. So, okay, so there's controversy. So what you going to show me? You got controversy. What you going to show me? You know, if the platform goes tomorrow, you shouldn't feel bad. It was an experience.
Yeah.
You know, you had nothing to lose in this. You had nothing to gain. You didn't spend $500 on the platform. You got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Now they might have invested in some games and stuff like that, but you know, shout out to all the people that spend a lot of money on these games. I know I put hundreds of dollars into it, but I tell you this right here. If I can take those downloads, if Stadia did shut down, which is probably not gonna do right now. But I could take, if I could take those save files, go over to Steam, I'll feel a little bit better than just getting duped out of all my money, you know what I'm saying, or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's at the worst case scenario, man. Best case scenario is all of this stuff turns around, Stadia starts kicking booty and getting third party games and third party exclusives and stuff like that. And we'll see more games, but like Orcs Must Die and Kratos and whatever and I know Kratos gonna go to other platforms, but the thing is, they'll be able to afford more of these types of experiences and stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want people to understand. Like, it just all makes sense to me, but I'm not the best at explaining it. That's all I say.
Right. No, you explained it well. I think you did, and like with MM2K, when you say everything you guys said today reflected exactly what I was thinking. And it was like, man, this is perfect. This is perfect time. I got to call these guys and thank them. But the thing is, it's like,
it's right on time.
I mean, this is what I wanted to echo out there because even when I saw you, look, like I said, I know that there's a lot of negativity circling around an article, but at the same time, there's a lot of positivity in that article also.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, the only thing I have to say is for people, when they try to look at a platform for one article and think that, oh, it's done, the thing they should do is look at what the platform is currently right now. Where is it currently at? Because we all know the signs, something that's not going to work well.
Yep.
So Stadia, and it's just like you said in M2K, where are the evidence that this is going to shut down?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't find any.
Yeah, I can't find it.
Me either.
You know, the closest thing I can find, D-Mac, is Jade Raymond retweeting what she retweeted about from WCCF Tech, that article. That's the closest they get. And even at that could be, for no pun intended, that could be Jade being jaded retweeting that. Because I would be upset too. You get my hopes up, and then all of a sudden, a little bit over a year, now this big dream that I had is dissolved.
Yeah.
But you got the YouTube job, D. You got the you got the interview that I had that flew over everybody's head. There was an interview that was done the same day that all this was coming down, and they were talking about 2021 and beyond. All right. You got the stuff that we talked about on the investor site about why they did it and how the stocks went up. And then you got even analysts out there. We didn't get a chance to cover it, but real quick, analysts are out there saying, was it R.W. Baird, analyst from Colin Sebastian, the cloud streaming technology will be relevant in years to come, and Google should look to license the technology to other companies like how Xbox and Amazon is doing, or wait out the video game industry until the new console cycle grows long in the tooth. In other words, saying that, you take baby steps, and then when your platform can really shine, then boom, like you said, bring back the 1P development or do the lofty stuff. But right now is not the time.
Right.
And it makes sense. Right now is not the time, because you have it's just like you said, they're trying to prove themselves that they're a legitimate way of gaming. They're trying to prove they know what they're going against, and they understand that they have an uphill battle. They understand that. And they knew that this news would not grow well with people. They knew that. Of course, they put bad news out there on the platform, but at least they're trying to be transparent. I mean, their communication could be a little better, but they're trying to be transparent as baby steps, just like you said. So, in my
D-Mac, I don't know a company yet. I've been in gaming for a long time, man, with 30 plus years. I've never heard a company sit there and cater to every concern, bro. That's not going to happen. So we can't expect that to happen, right?
That's true.
I think the writing was in the message. The message let us know, hey, you do have an option to lead the platform. We are not holding you hostage. But for those who remain to stay, remain on the platform or whatever, we have something for you coming in the near future. Just trust and believe. Now, I love the tech so much, and I love the platform, and I love the community and my experience on Stadia. That's why I'm here. And in case anybody wanted to know, that's why Project Storm is not going any damn way. Anywhere. I'm going to keep playing games. I'm going to keep trying to find matches on Madden until the damn server closes or something, man. I'm going to be playing games over here.
Yeah. I hear you, man. I'm going to do the same thing, man. I'm going to keep trying to find matches.
You know what I'm saying?
An ultimate team.
Yeah.
But hey, D-Mac, you came on here spitting, brother. But go ahead. Were you about to say something?
No, I was gonna jump off because I know y'all got some people that probably want to come on here and light it up too, man. But no, I was just saying I appreciate what you guys are doing. I agree with what you're saying, and I really think people are looking a little too deep into this. Here's my example, and I know this is an extreme example, but you know, when a person suffers from what they call it PTSD, post-traumatic.
Yes. I know where you're going.
I kind of think our community has that.
Yes.
Because of all the lies and all the things that was brought down on Stadia, beat down. So I think the slightest thing that we hear, we fold up. We know they come out. Oh my God! All those people
some panic. There's some panic.
Oh Lord, they're doing that.
And
it's like, guys.
Yes.
If I may say something, you're looking through a telescope. Put your eyes out of the telescope. Look up at the sky.
Yeah.
The cloud is still there.
Yeah, man.
Chill out for a second. Yeah. Everything all right.
Yep. Exactly.
But all right, man. I don't want to take the time up. I know the Lions fired up or something. I hope so.
Man, we appreciate your thoughts. Hella fine thoughts.
I appreciate you, man. This was a great conversation. You got to do this more often, D. All right.
Yeah, I will, man. I will.
And you be out there with 6'4", man, racing it up, doing whatever y'all do over there, man. And people should know where to find you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So be on the lookout for D-Mac, y'all. And now, D-Mac, I do want you to get on that Madden. Don't be running, bro. At some point, I do want you to get on that Madden, man.
Hey, man, I got a bag full of L's and ready to hand out, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to
Tell him.
Yeah. All right. What you don't know is that bag had a hole in it, though. That bag had a hole in it. But anyway, all right, bro. But look, we appreciate you, man.
All right, y'all take it easy, man.
All right, bet.
Great call. I don't know, Storm. We're at the 1 o'clock hour now. I mean, do you want to do any more or?
Nah, that's it. I think we're gonna close out the day, man. We got some stuff in the bag. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna
we do.
Yeah, we're gonna do some more explaining.
You can catch us on definitely. Oh, one thing I do want to say is that we were supposed to today announce the winner of the of the what's it called, but we're pushing that back. More news to come.
Yeah.
Premiere. But called like D-Maculus just qualified. It just put his entries in. If you want to qualify for the Premier bundle, even if you're one of those that are afraid, Stadia's dying tomorrow.
What use do I have? It's dying anyway. Hey, I'm not mad at those people though, man. If y'all want to leave and come back or just stay on pause, I get it.
I think Stadia can calm their nerves just a little better messaging. But with that said, some of us that are in the know, like Brian Chappelle put this so great, and I know we're trying to go, but shout out to him in that damn video, man. Golly, he put it better than I ever could. He said all this rumbling about something that again doesn't guarantee success because if you look at OG Xbox had Halo 1 and 2 and still got their asses whooped. 150 to 24 million. It wasn't until Xbox got them second party deals that they become a juggernaut. You know what I'm saying? And they really didn't have much going for it last gen, hence why they lost by a lot. But with that being said, he said, we're doing all this hoopla about something we never got that don't guarantee you success or it isn't synonymous with success. Look what Xbox did with the 360. He said, it would be like me being upset saying that, someone saying to me, hey, look,
Like, yeah, about his date with Jennifer Lawrence, right?
Yeah. Me and Brian Chappelle and Jennifer Lawrence broke up, and we never been together. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't make any. Yeah.
It was dope.
Watch that video, y'all.
And he also said about,
basically
we're paraphrasing, of course, but
yeah, exactly.
He was saying, he hinted at the fact that we're complaining over something that we never had in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Now they had drop games like Crucible and New World and stuff, for example, and then pulled the plug on them after we had gotten our hands on them. I would be very, very upset.
Yes,
but I don't know what I'm gonna miss because it never came.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So on that note, y'all, we're going to definitely go ahead and close it on up. But before I do, remember, we are going to be going live, myself and Snow Bunny Gaming, tomorrow on her YouTube channel, Snow Bunny Gaming, with the YMYOG, Yang Meets Yang of Gaming podcast, y'all, where we're going to be talking about Stadia and everything else related to gaming. So feel free to stop by at 11 Eastern time. All right. Anything else you're thinking about before we wrap up?
No, that's it. No, I think that's 2 p.m. Eastern time for you. You said 11. 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh, I said 11. Then I'm thinking
you pulled an MM2K, Old Milwaukee.
2 p.m. Eastern time, y'all. Not 11. That's today. You could tell we're all scheduled. You know what I'm saying? It's good to have MM back. I'm blaming everything on him. But look, for all of y'all that took the time to rock with us, to hang with us, to listen, to share your input and all that stuff, this is what it's all about. Y'all know it's the truth. When we say it, it's true. You know what I'm saying? So thank each and every one of y'all. Get some Old Milwaukee in your system. Get something to eat. And go on over and listen to your favorite content creators if that's what you choose to do. Or get some games in. But have fun. Keep it safe. Keep it positive, y'all. We are out of here.
Peace.
I don't have no good music to play.